Hey everybody, I'm really sad I can't be joining you in the room today, but I found out recently that I'd be needed in Sydney today for a marketing workshop. So that's why I'm on your screen and not standing in front of you. So I'm James Purcell. I've got a background in events and events marketing with some digital and promotional strategy in there too. So I studied marketing at RMIT after finishing school, which was great. And while I was there, founded the RMIT major events team and ran that for a couple of years. Back in 2008, I started Purcell Promotions and established my first event brand, which was the weekly Uni Night Tight Ass Tuesdays at the Hawthorn Hotel. And during that same time, started working at Red Bull as a student brand manager as well. And over the last 3 years, been in a few roles there and now currently settled in the field marketing specialist role in Victoria and Tasmania. So looking after our consumer activations, the Red Bull Wings team that you would have seen driving around in the minis, and the student brand manager team. But that's enough about me. Let's get down to business today. And I want to start by saying I think of social media as a backstage pass to your life, not your lunch. So when you commit to social media, you're always going to be thinking about how you can share a unique element of your personal experience with others. So let's get started with some online personal branding. So what is your personal brand? In the real offline world, you want your personal brand, which is essentially your name, to be one that's synonymous with trust, intelligence, and respect. So when people meet you, do business with you, or start dating you, you don't want a bad reputation to precede you. So if you've got a strong personal brand, it means that people consider your opinions and experience with high regard. And it's exactly the same with your online personal brand. In fact, for some people, their online personal brand is more important than their real-world offline personal brand. But in 2012, we know that you can use the digital world to build and strengthen your personal brand. And today, I'm going to give you a quick guide to the platforms that can help you do it. So I'll cover 4 of them in brief today. And they're 4 that have helped me strengthen my online personal brand, the Purcell Report. And I've deliberately left Facebook out of today because I know you'll be hearing a lot about it from some others. So my top 4 for today are Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Pinterest. So some of you might already have these, and I don't want you to rush off after today and get all 5 immediately, because until you're comfortable and happy with the social networks that you're on, I don't want you to broaden your platforms. So social media takes time to manage, and first off, you might not really know what you're doing, and that's totally okay. That's really similar to a lot of people. But the trick is, you've got to have the time to learn what the platform is about and how to use it properly before going and getting any new ones. So master the ones that you've got and then start on a new one at a time. The best way to learn about a new social media platform is to start as a passive user. So the more experienced you are at using the platform, the better you are going to be at contributing to it when the time comes. So I want you to think of it as being a listener at first, rather than being a talker. So starting as a passive user or a listener allows you to initially familiarize with the platform's audience and the user base. You'll experience how others are using it, and you'll follow your first Twitterers or tweeters or whoever they are, pinners. And you'll also have time to complete your profile, including uploading an appropriate photo. So let's kick off with Twitter. And for me, Twitter's replaced the need to read about 10 different blogs and the local newspaper every morning, because I view it as my own customizable live news channel that's constantly updating with the news that I want to see and read. So getting started on Twitter, pick a username that's really similar to your real name. Don't make up aliases, because it makes it really difficult for people to find you and follow you. And then start off by searching for and following about 25 to 50 people that really interest you. So follow your news outlets like 3AW, The Age, Triple J, the ABC. Then follow your favourite sports teams, your trashy celebrities, your favourite people across the media, music, art, politics, comedy, sports, and other areas like that. Follow the people that you want to stalk next as well. So your industry experts, other brands in the category, the directors, owners, employees, and brand managers of your competition. They're going to give you little tidbits of information. And lastly, if you haven't already, follow everyone who knows more than you about your topics of interest, and anyone who might provide some information to you or your customers or your clients that you might find interesting. So now you've followed your interesting people, you've got to check Twitter anytime you've got time. So early on, you should be checking it at least once a day to get all the news from that source. And over time, you'll find that having Twitter, giving your own live coverage of everything you find important and interesting is addictive. And you'll want to be jumping on there more and checking out what's going on. So from then on, just explore, watch and learn. So if someone asks a question on your Twitter feed, tweet a reply to their question. If you like something that someone's tweeted, you can retweet it and share it with those who follow you. And keep following people as you go and keep building up that network on Twitter. The next one that I want to talk about is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn's often described as Facebook for business people, and that's mostly true, but that's not all that it is. So it's better to think of LinkedIn as your digital ever-evolving resume, which is available for prospective clients, customers, and employers at any time. So it's almost like hanging your degrees on the wall of the internet and your achievements up there as well. So recruiters have been known to use LinkedIn to headhunt the right people for a role, and lots of people use it to contact people whom they've never met but want to do business with. For example, I often get people sending me messages on LinkedIn about how to get a job or how to get sponsored because on my LinkedIn profile, I've made my employment public. Start by signing up and filling out your profile. So it's quite an easy process, but it is time consuming at first, putting all your information in. And remember that the photo that you add to your profile should be something professional and not your embarrassing moment from last year's Christmas party. So once your profile's almost complete, you can start adding to your network. You can search out people by name, job title, company name, and more. And you can also add your Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail address book and search it for matches of LinkedIn users. And you can also upload your Outlook or Apple Mail contact file to search for matching users as well. So that will automatically link you to all those LinkedIn users whose email addresses you've already got. You'll be surprised how many people you find on LinkedIn, and ones that you wouldn't have even known are there. And another great use for LinkedIn is keeping in touch with distant contacts or people you've met along the way and want to keep in touch with for future business or job opportunities. So your network doesn't just have to be full of friends, family, and current workmates. You can make contact with anyone. But like Facebook, you've got the right to approve or reject an invitation to connect, so you've got control over who sees or views your full profile information. Let's talk about my favorite one now, Instagram. And I love how the world looks through the Instagram lens because this craze has well and truly taken off, and it's my favorite social media app. It's available for iPhone, iPad, and Android users. And very simply, you take a photo using your mobile camera, you apply one of a number of filters to it, you might add some blur and tweak the color contrast as well. Then you upload it with a comment and a location tag to your Instagram feed with the option to also share to Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and more. And it's customary that your photo will be something really cool, indie, or fashionable, or there's something great about it. So Instagram's used to capture the best moments of your day. So many people will Instagram an awesome sunset, a close-up of their pet doing something cute, a delicious meal, something unusual, or some funky froth detail in their coffee. So think from the perspective of capturing the best bits to share and sharing the finer details that make life so sweet. Like all social media platforms, you'll set up your profile on first use, and it's best to use the same username that you have on other networks. So the general practice is to have your Instagram username the same as you would for Twitter and Facebook, or any other network for that matter. So some words of advice for Instagram. Snap your photo inside the Instagram app using the camera tab, rather than taking it with your native camera app and then importing it. Get really close up and get a lot of detail in your image as well. Whilst you can link your Facebook and your Twitter and simultaneously post your photo across those networks, pick your moments and don't do this every time because it gets very repetitive for people constantly seeing that. And don't upload a picture of every meal that you eat because remember, social media is a backstage pass to your life, not your lunch. And last but not least, Pinterest. So Pinterest has brought scrapbooking into the digital world, and it's my newest digital platform, and it's the one I spend the most time on now, even more than Facebook. So Pinterest encourages you to curate your own creativity, creating pinboards at your whim and fancy, and then browsing the thousands of pictures shared on the site to pin photos to your pinboards. So you can also like or comment on the many images being shared too. Different to Instagram, Pinterest sees more professional photography and breathtaking still images being shared and pinned by users. The whole website is built on sharing and the common appreciation for a beautiful image and a stunning photo. They've just added the ability to post videos and GIFs and things like that as well. So different to Facebook, people don't often feature in their photos or share their personal albums, and there's definitely no pictures of past holidays or anything like that on there. So the best way to start is start with several pin boards and name them with short and simple titles. Some people I've seen pin their photos by colour, others pin by general titles like food, landscapes, sexy or tattoos, so it's up to you. You can literally spend hours on the Pinterest site, and the website interface is super simple and you'll never run out of images to scroll through and pin to your pin boards. The one thing to watch out for though is that if you're looking through thousands of pictures of delicious food, you're going to get very, very hungry. So that's all I've got time for today, guys. Of course, I'd love to hear from each and every one of you if you want to touch base. You can follow me on all the social networks mentioned today and get a feel for how I use the platforms. If you want to post any questions, comments, queries, you can post them on my Purcell Report Facebook page. So that's facebook.com/Purcell Report, P-U-R-C-E-L-L Report. On Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest, you'll find me by searching username James D. Purcell. And if you forget all of that, just remember to go to www.purcellreport.com, and I will see you guys next time in the room.